Welcome to our video on the top 10 facts about turtles and tortoises. These fascinating reptiles have captured our imaginations for centuries with their unique physical features, impressive longevity, and incredible adaptability. From their bird-like beaks to their sturdy shells, turtles and tortoises are truly one-of-a-kind creatures that continue to surprise and amaze us. Whether you are a die-hard fan or just looking for some interesting trivia, these charming creatures will surely capture your heart and imagination. From their unique anatomy to their remarkable resilience, turtles and tortoises are truly one-of-a-kind animals that continue to fascinate us to this day. So, sit back, relax, and get ready to discover some truly mind-blowing facts about turtles and tortoises. First things first, did you know that the terms turtle and tortoise are often used interchangeably, but they actually refer to different species? The difference between turtles and tortoises can be a bit confusing, especially when it comes to language rather than anatomy. Turtles generally live in water and have flatter shells, while tortoises live on land and have domed shells. While technically terrestrial species should be called tortoises, in USA, people often use the word turtle for all species. And things get even more complicated in UK, where turtle refers only to marine species and not land-based tortoises. To avoid any misunderstandings, many scientists and conservationists use the broader term chelonians or testudens to refer to turtles, tortoises, and terrapins. Those who specialize in studying these fascinating reptiles are known as testudinologists, and have dedicated their lives to unraveling the mysteries of these amazing creatures. So, the next time you are trying to impress your friends with your turtle knowledge, make sure to use the right terminology. But let's not forget about the families turtles and tortoises belong. Did you know that turtles and tortoises are divided into two major families? That's right, these charming reptiles are classified into two groups based on their living habitats, the aquatic turtles and the land-dwelling tortoises. When it comes to turtles and tortoises, there are around 350 species, the vast majority of which are Cryptidias. These reptiles have the unique ability to retract their heads straight back into their shells when threatened, providing them with a powerful defense mechanism. On the other hand, the remaining species are Ploridias, also known as side-necked turtles, and fold their necks to one side when retracting their heads. But the differences between these two testudent suborders go beyond just their head retracting abilities. Cryptidias have 12 bony plates that make up their shells, while Ploridias have 13 and also have narrower vertebrae in their necks. Ploridia turtles can be found primarily in the southern hemisphere, including Africa, South America, and Australia, while Cryptidias have a worldwide distribution and account for most of the turtle and tortoise species we know and love. So, the next time you come across a turtle or a tortoise, you'll know which squad they belong to. Now friends, let's talk about the most iconic feature of these creatures, their shells. Did you know that the shells of turtles and tortoises are securely attached to their bodies? That's because the shell is actually part of their skeletal system, and it grows with them as they age. Forget everything you thought you knew about turtles and tortoises from those old cartoons. Contrary to popular belief, a turtle can't simply jump out of its shell to escape danger. The truth is that the shell, or carapace, is an integral part of their anatomy. The inner layer of the shell is attached to the turtle's skeleton by various ribs and vertebrae, making it a permanent fixture. Most turtles and tortoises have shells made up of scutes, which are essentially layers of hard keratin, the same protein found in human fingernails. The exceptions to this are soft-shelled turtles and leatherbacks, whose carapaces are covered with thick skin. It's easy to see why shells developed as a means of defense against predators. With a tough, impenetrable barrier, even the hungriest of predators would have a hard time getting through to a turtle or tortoise. So, in a way, their shells are like their own personal armor that they carry around with them. And speaking of armor, did you know that turtles and tortoises have bird-like beaks, but no teeth? Yes, you read that right. While birds and turtles may seem like two very different types of animals, they actually share a unique characteristic. Both have beaks and no teeth. They use their beaks to bite and chew their food, which mostly consist of plants and insects. Meat-eating turtles have sharp and ridged beaks that can cause serious damage to human skin, while herbivorous turtles and tortoises have serrated edges on their beaks that help them cut through tough plants. In comparison to other reptiles, the bite of turtles and tortoises is relatively weak. However, the alligator snapping turtle can exert a bite force of over 300 pounds per square inch, which is about the same as that of an adult human male. But, let's not forget that the bite force of a saltwater crocodile measures over 4,000 pounds per square inch, making it one of the most powerful bites in the animal kingdom. So, if you're ever having a meal with a turtle or tortoise, don't be surprised if they're munching on some greens. Now, let's talk about longevity. Did you know that some turtles and tortoises can live for over 100 years? That's right, these creatures are like the vampires of the animal kingdom, minus the blood-sucking part. Reptiles may not be known for their speed or warmth, but they certainly make up for it in longevity. It's a common rule in the animal kingdom that creatures with slow metabolisms tend to live longer than their mammalian and avian counterparts. A box turtle, for example, can easily live for several decades, while the Galapagos tortoise is capable of reaching a ripe old age of 200 years. Unfortunately, most baby turtles never get the chance to reach adulthood, as they become easy prey for predators shortly after hatching. However, if a turtle does make it to maturity, its shell provides almost impenetrable protection against most predators. It's been suggested that the DNA of these reptiles undergoes more frequent repair, and their stem cells are more easily regenerated, leading gerontologists to study them in hopes of discovering miracle proteins that could extend human lifespans. So, if you're looking for a long-term companion, a turtle or tortoise might just be the perfect fit. But wait, there's more. Did you know that most turtles and tortoises don't have very good hearing? That's because their ears are hidden behind their shells, and they rely more on their sense of sight and smell to navigate their surroundings. Yes, turtles and tortoises are known for their tough shells, which serve as a formidable defense against predators. However, this same protection comes at a cost to their sensory capabilities. Unlike herd animals that rely on keen hearing to detect approaching predators, most testudents on land can only hear sounds above 60 decibels, roughly equivalent to a human speaking loudly. While their vision is also relatively poor, it is adequate for tracking prey, and some species are well suited for nocturnal hunting. Generally, testudents are not highly intelligent creatures, but some species have demonstrated the ability to learn and remember simple tasks. Despite their sensory limitations, these fascinating reptiles have adapted well to their environments and continue to thrive. So, if you're ever trying to get a turtle's attention, you might have to wave your hand in front of them to catch their eye. Now let's talk about reproduction. Did you know that turtles and tortoises lay their eggs in the sand? That's right, after mating, the female will dig a hole in the sand and lay her eggs inside. The eggs will then hatch after a few weeks, and the baby turtles or tortoises will emerge from the sand and make their way to the water or land. The number of eggs laid by turtles and tortoises can vary from 20 to 200, depending on the species. However, there are exceptions to this rule, such as the eastern box tortoise, which lays only 3 to 8 eggs at a time. After finding a suitable spot in the soil, the female deposits her soft, leathery eggs and leaves. Unfortunately, the fate of these eggs is grim, as nearby predators frequently raid turtle nests and consume the majority of them before hatching. In fact, it's not uncommon for crows and raccoons to devour up to 90% of the snapping turtle's eggs. Even after hatching, the odds of survival for immature turtles without the protection of a hard shell are slim. Typically, only 1 or 2 hatchlings per clutch will survive to adulthood and reproduce, while the others become food for the food chain. These harsh realities are often left out of nature documentaries. But let's go even further back in time. Did you know that the ultimate ancestor of turtles and tortoises lived during the Permian period? That's over 250 million years ago, making them one of the oldest reptile families in the world. Turtles have a fascinating evolutionary history that dates back millions of years before the Mesozoic era, also known as the Age of Dinosaurs. The earliest known ancestor of testudens is a foot-long lizard called Eunotosaurus, which lived in the swamps of Africa around 260 million years ago. It had wide, elongated ribs curving along its back, which is believed to be an early version of the shells of later turtles and tortoises. Other important links in the evolution of testudens include the late Triassic Papochles and the early Jurassic Odontochles, a soft-shelled marine turtle that had a complete set of teeth. Over the course of tens of millions of years, the Earth was home to a variety of prehistoric turtles, some of which were truly massive, such as Archelon and Protostega, weighing in at almost 2 tons each. Talk about being a living relic of the past. Now, let's talk about why turtles and tortoises don't make ideal pets. While turtles and tortoises may seem like great pets for kids or low-energy adults, there are several reasons why adopting them might not be a good idea. Firstly, testudens can live for an exceptionally long time, which means they require a long-term commitment. Secondly, caring for turtles can be quite expensive, particularly when it comes to providing appropriate housing, food, and water. Thirdly, turtles are known carriers of salmonella, which can cause serious illness and even hospitalization. In fact, you can contract salmonella from turtles even without directly handling them, as the bacteria can thrive on surfaces around your home. Conservation organizations generally recommend that turtles and tortoises remain in their natural habitats rather than being kept as pets. And finally, let's talk about the Soviet Union's space program. Did you know that they once shot 2 tortoises into space? That's right, in 1968, the Soviet Union launched a spacecraft called Zond 5, which may sound like the premise of a sci-fi TV show. The spacecraft had an unusual payload that included flies, worms, plants, and 2 tortoises that were probably very disoriented. Zond 5 orbited the Moon once before returning to Earth. Despite losing 10% of their body weight, the tortoises were deemed healthy and active. However, what became of the tortoises after their return remains unknown. Given their breed's long lifespan, it's possible that they are still alive today. While it's tempting to imagine them as mutated giants in a post-Soviet research facility near Vladivostok, their actual fate remains a mystery. So, there you have it, dear friends, the top 10 most fascinating facts about turtles and tortoises. We hope you enjoyed learning about these fascinating creatures and the incredible world they inhabit. From their unique physical features to their impressive longevity, turtles and tortoises are truly one-of-a-kind animals that continue to capture our imaginations. Remember, it's important to appreciate these incredible creatures and work to protect them and their natural habitats. So the next time you see a turtle or tortoise, take a moment to marvel at their beauty and reflect on the incredible diversity of life that surrounds us. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing animal facts. And that concludes our showcase of today's topic. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to share this video with your friends, family, and relatives so that they too can enjoy videos on wild animals. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.